A Comics Info Job Guide. Chapter 1. A Comics Job Guide. Comic Book Writer Career. Trying to make it as a comic book, comic strip, cartoon writer, or graphic novelist is so hard because a lot of people want to do it, virtually all graphic artists. There's an overabundance of it, and in the grand scheme of things, comics are considered a frivolous diversion. A portfolio is the resume of the art and graphic design businesses. It's a book like a scrapbook or photo album with a bunch of your best work in it. Your portfolio should not be one-dimensional. It should showcase the range of skills you have. If you know what a particular publisher is looking for, you can easily tailor it to match their needs. It's all about storytelling. The pictures have some relevance, but anybody can draw comic pictures with a computer, so focus on the story first. Tell an original story. Don't steal ideas from others because people in the biz will see it right away. You have two possible routes. Get a contract with an established comic publisher. Self-publish and distribute your own comic book, and if a major comic book publisher sees it and likes it, he will give you a contract. You have to prepare a portfolio of your work, which is to have some of your comic work in either hard copy form on paper or digitally on a personal website, or have it stored as a file and be able to email it to prospective investors and agents. There are major comic book publishing houses and smaller ones. Send them all copies of your portfolio and ask for a job. Don't even think of asking to sell them your original comic book stories yet. If they hire you, they get you to work on their stuff, then after a year or so, you can introduce your ideas to them. Some people get tired of the rejections and publish their own comic, graphic novel, website, or e-zine. Even though you might earn a living doing it this way, chances are you won't, but it might give you the exposure you need for someone to see it and hire you. It's not just about the drawing. With a good Photoshop software program, anyone can draw pretty good comics. It's about original characters and a good sequential storyline. Can you put emotions in the faces of your characters? There are plenty of options. It's not just about superheroes. There's a big market for erotic comics. Follow your heart. There are 3 stages in comic book production: penciling, inking, coloring. The drawings are penciled out, then drawn over with ink, after which color is applied. Pick one of these areas and get really good at it as your specialty. The big companies are Marvel, DC, Image, and Dark Horse. Request their submission guidelines, then send them your stuff. Don't hound them though. Send them a submission once a year only, not more than that. Get out and socialize at comic book stores, conventions, etc. in order to network and meet comic book editors and others in the biz. Self-publishing is hard work. There are specialty comic book printers like Imprimerie, Quebecer, and distributors who will sell the book for you for a piece of the profits, like Diamond Comic Distributors. There is a book, How to Self-Publish Your Own Comic Book. Comic Book Writer. Marvel.com/corporate/interns. imagecomics.com/about/submissions. Comic Book Industry Alliance Online Forum. The CBIA.com/registration.html. News of the comics industry. Bleeding Cool. bleedingcool.com. Comic Book Industry Alliance. 858-278-0371. Thebos at thecbia.com. thecbia.com/index2.html. Comic Book Resources. 5240 Lancashire Boulevard, Suite 210. North Hollywood, California 91601-3109. 323-306-0636. comicbookresources.com. Crave Online. 5140 Gold Leaf Circle, first floor. Los Angeles, California 90056-1299. SiravianLine.com/entertainment/comics. Dark Horse Comics. 10956 Southeast Main Street, Milwaukee, Oregon 97222. 503-652-8815. darkhorse.com. DC Comics. dccomics.com. Image Comics. Berkeley, California, 94704-1226. info@imagecomics.com. imagecomics.com. Marvel. 135 West 50th Street. New York 10020 to 1201 New York. 212-576-4000. Marvel.com. Comics publishing websites from cali.org/arts/comics/publishers. Click a letter. accomics.com, AC Comics, home of Femverse and Golden Age reprints. Find out the latest information about AC products coming down the pike, be introduced to the AC Comics creative team, or just enjoy some original art. antarctic-press.com, Antarctic Press, comic book company located in San Antonio, specializing in manga and anime comics. aporia.brainmade.com, Aporia Press, Canadian publishers of short alternative comics with a vaguely postmodern bent. With news, online samples, and ordering information. approbationcomics.com, Approbation Comics, comic book company features such titles as Vampires Unlimited, Alpha and Myriad. Concept drawings and illustrations. archiecomics.com, Archie Comics, features pictures, games, contests, coloring pages, and membership privileges. asylumpress.com, Asylum Press, features horror and action comics for the new millennium. Hex of the Wicked Witch, the Vampire Verses, galleries, news, previews, and an online store. avatarpress.com, Avatar Press, the publisher of Snowman, Nira X, Widow, Donna Mia, Pandora, The Ravening, Lookers, and others. Has information on titles, image gallery, and submission guidelines. Chapter 2. A Comics Info Guide. Create your own comics websites. ProfessorGarfield.org/pgf_comics_lab.html. MakeBeliefsComics.com/daily-comics-diary, get students writing and creating their own daily comic strips. Graphic novel websites. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/graphic_novel. randomhouse.com/doubleday/graphic novels. library.yale.edu/humanities/media/comics.html, Yale Library Research Guide for Mass Media and Popular Culture. novelyingnotites.com, graphic novel reviews for teens. Feminist comic art websites. happychaos.com/WCI, Women's Cartoon Index. kingfeatures.com/features/comics/6chicks/about.htm, 6chicks. Antelnes. drac.com/purse/victor/ralph/angles.html, Ralph Koenig, German Gay World. dykes-to-watchout-for.com, dykes to watch out for. Alison Bechtel. marystreet.com/hh, hothead paisan. lambk.net/shrag_a.htm, Ariel Shrag, queer cartoonist. marlismagazine.com, Marlis by Linda Berry. TrinaRobbins.com, Trina Robbins, author of The Great Women Cartoonists. NinaPaley.com, Nina Paley, creator of Nina's Adventures. RobertaGregory.com, Bitch a Bitch. ComedyContact.com. HelloBetty.com, Betty. CherylWheeler.com, Cheryl Wheeler, folk singer/comedian. Feminist.org. Free comic books online / free graphic novels. A lot of comics go picture by picture. Some have several pictures on a page like a real comic book. Try regular free ebook websites. digitalcomicmuseum.com, lots of comics. goldenagecomics.co.uk. topwebcomics.com. apelody.blogspot.com. thetopwebcomics.com, marchandsandstuff.com/comics. spawn.com/features/series30/comic. alpha-shade.com. altermeta.net/archive.php ? comic =0 AndyRuntun.com bbc.co.uk/cult/Buffy/ecomics, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Ecommerce bbc.co.uk/Doctor Who/S4/miscellaneous/fiction/writers comics borderwalker.com brendancahill.com captainconfederacy.blogspot.com cigarro.ca/?p=4, The Cigarro and Servja black and white comic primatology.com ecweb.com/goldenage_comics.hdm, 1930s to 50s comicweb.com myspace.com/darkhorsepresents issue number =12 story number =2 dglibrary.com/category/7/comics_graphic_novels dogstarcomics.com e-bookstore.com/listing.php category =63 elfquest.com/gallery/onlinecomics3.html scribd.com elfquest.com/pub/eqtimeline.html flashbackuniverse.com/downloads.aspx freakangels.com/p=23 freebooksblog.com/category/comics freebooksblog.com/category/cartoon free-onlinebookstore.org/comicscharacterbooks.html free-onlinevels.com/graphic.html furycomics.com getfreebooks.com/?cat=160 giantidp.com/comics/oots0001.html giant in the playground girlgeniusonline.com/comic.php girlswithslingshots.com/comic/gws1 goblinscomic.com goblinscomic.com/archive gocomics.com goldenagecomics.co.uk gravitywell.com/docs/comics.shtml heartshapeskull.com The Adventures of Serenity Rose and Friends nbc.com/heroes/novels/novels_library.shtml hiddenrobot.com/cbonline, cross Bronx flickr.com comics iki.com manga johnnysaturn.com kyokipress.com/comics.html marchandsandstuff.com/free-comic-books-online meleecomics.com/archives.html messenger.com/archive/messenger moderntales.com muncies.com/details/mode/cat/58/comics newsarama.com/topic/spinner-rack-full-comic-books-online newsarama.com onlinecomics.net/pages sluggy.com/comics/archives/daily/97085, a black and white web comic that has been running since 1997 stevui.com/feather/previewissues.html superherouniverse.com/comicbooks home.insightbb.com/goldenears/library.html vendettacomic.com webcomicsnation.com xkcd.com webbing.com/forums zombiehighway.com entireprise-enterprises.com/zeortic/category/in-alien-use/act-1/page/2 comics websites 1 cartoonartgallery.com cartoonbank.com cartooncrossroads.com cartoonet.org cartoonistgroup.com cartoonnetwork.com cartoonresearch.com cartoonresource.com cartoonstalk.com cartoonworld.com cbldf.org, the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, defending First Amendment rights. cda.concordia.ca, Centre for Digital Arts in Quebec, Canada. celebrationpubs.org, religious cartoons. cfq.com, animation, several journals. cgsociety.org. change.monster.com/articles/animator. chuckjones.com, cartoon pioneer. cinenet.net/gweb/lists.html, computer animation. comicbookmovie.com. comicbookresources.com. comicbookresources.com. comiccon.com, comic book convention. comicspage.com. computeranimation-job-description.elizabethpark.co.nz. computeranimationschoolreview.com. comics websites 2-clicks-comics.com. comicartistsdirect.com. comicartfans.com. faqs.org/faqs/comics/fandom/welcome. comiclist.com. ugcomics.info. 1-comic-books.com. absolutearts.com. adherence.com/lit/comics/comic_book_religion.html, religions of comic book characters. ain'titcool.com. akpress.org, some comics. oralgoods.ca, Halifax, Canada. archiecomics.com/podcasts. argocomics.com. artcomic.com. askerty.com/interest/top-cartoon. atomiccartoons.com. bdangulim.com/index.ideal?long=n, International Comics Festival. bobscomics.com. bookstores.new_york_city_comic_book_stores.html. budplant.com. bulliescomics.blogspot.com. calibercomics.com. cartoonlinks.com. cartoonstalk.com. cartoonstalk.com/directory/i/ideas_man.asp. cbldf.org, Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. cbldf.org, Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. chebukto.ns.ca/recreation/cma. clubs.shezyart.com. comcentral.com. comic-art.com. comicbookconventions.com. comicbookfonts.com. comicbookhotties.com. comicbookmovie.com. comicbookpros.com, original comic book art for sale. comicbookradioshow.com. comicbookresources.com. comicbookresources.com, weeklycomicbookreview.com, tcj.com, The Comics Journal. comiccollectorlive.com. comic-con.org, convention. comicdepot.com. comicgems.com. comiclist.com. comiccon.com. comiccon.com, comic book convention. comics.ch. comics.com. comics.nl. comics.org. comics.redweb.com. comicsavenue.com. comicscustomsandcollectibles.com. comics-db.com. comicsmagazines.com. comicspriceguide.com. comicsreporter.com. comix-world.com. creators.com/comics.html. crimeboss.com. cyberzine.com/webcomics. darkhorizons.com. dcboards.warnerbrothers.com. dccomics.com. dccomics.com/paradox, 800-887-6789. detnews.com/metro/hobbies/comics, deviantart.com, diamdcom.com, diamondcomics.com, diamondcomics.com, comic shop locator service, 888 comic book, digitalwebbing.com, digitalwebbing.com, comic book news and website, doonesbury.com, downtoearthcomic.com, eden.com/comics, egsite.com/quarterly, el.com/links/comics.asp, el.com/links/sudoku.asp, elfquest.com, en.wikipedia.org/wiki/comic_book, en.wikipedia.org/wiki/comic_book_art, en.wikipedia.org/wiki/list_comic_book_publishing_companies, en.wikipedia.org/wiki/list_comic_strips, en.wikipedia.org/wiki/list_films_based_on_comic_strips, eng.clemson.edu/c-shan, etune.com, exhibit.edgeglobal.com, fontographics.com, 800-657-1100, farzite.com/cw, fistfullofcomics.com/podcasts, flashzone.com, forums.comicbookresources.com, freecomicbookday.com, fschobbies.com, gemstonepub.com, generalcomics.com, girl-wonder.org, gocomics.com, goth.com, gramcrackers.com, comic book store, hackcomic.com, heck.com, hijinkscomics.com, San Jose, CA, hiof.no/pub/comics/reference, horrorzeek.com, houseoffun.com, hulkmovie.com, hype.com/comics, idea-men.us, imagecomics.com, indieworld.com, inet1.com/tunes/true/art, junobooks.com, book Dangerous Drawings, interviews with comics and graphic artists by Andrea Juno, kingfeatures.com, kraus.com/comics/cr, lambk.nl, lastgasp.com, 800-848-4277, lib.msu.edu/comics, lib.msu.edu/comics/director/comres.htm, comics research libraries, loc.gov/catdir/pcc/sacco/cpisode/cpisode-0510112.html, macinima.com, macromedia.com, makebeliefscomics.com, makebeliefscomics.com, create comic strips, marvel.com, marvelcomics.com, marvelonline.com, maxabout.com, mercurycenter.com/comics, metropoliscomics.com, mixonline.com, Japanese, comics websites 3, mycomicbookcreator.com, mycomicshop.com, nbmpub.com, 800-886-1223, necomics.com, nerf-herders-anonymous.net/comics.html, newkadia.com, comic book store, newsarama.com, daily comic book news, ninjaturtles.com, noflingnotites.com, graphic novel review site, nspace.cts.com/comics, onlinecomics.net, overseascomics.com, perseuspublishing.com, 800-255-1514, protoculture.ca, readwritethink.org/materials/comic, sailor-games.com, silverbulletcomicbooks.com, slavelabor.com, spiritworks-art.com/top100/topsites2.html, spurmco.com, strangepeoplecomics.com, stripcreator.com, subreality.com/mst.htm, The Great Comic Book Misting Site, sunset.se/pub/comics/pictures, comics, superherohype.com, talkaboutcomicbooks.com, tcj.com, The Comics Journal, theborderline.com, thuebcomiclist.com, theworldexplodes.dreamhosters.com, thrillingdetective.com, toptoonsites.com, tomorrows.com, comic book artist, Tomorrow's Publishing, uexpress.com/comics, uexpress.com/ups/comics/ch, undertowcomics.com, unitedmedia.com/comics, unitedmedia.com/inkwell, vandalcomx.nl, web.english.ufl.edu/comics/scholars/directory/ae.html, white-wolf.com, some comic books for children, wizardworld.com, x-worldcomics.com, y2comics.interspeed.net, zapcartoons.com.